I don't really like resolutions. Oftentimes, they're too broad, they lack planning, which is why so many of them fail. Making goals specific and achievable, that is what works, and that is what helps us go in the right direction. With the end of the year approaching, many people are getting their minds ready for a fresh start and thinking about areas where they can make improvements. Saving money, spending less, and just being better with money overall are some of the top goals that people will set going into a new year. So in today's video, we are going to look at 21 money goals that you can set for 2021 that can help you have the best year financially. Now, obviously, you don't have to tackle every single goal on this list, but if you are looking for a little inspiration, here are a few ways to empower your finances. The first goal is to start meal planning. Planning out your meals in advance for either the week or the month not only saves time, but it also saves money, because a lot of times meal planning will involve building recipes around what you already have in your kitchen. This helps you to buy only what you need, which can curb some of that impulse spending. Plus, it can also reduce food waste, which can be just as costly. The second goal is to spend more intentionally this year. Whether you are buying clothes, electronics, furniture, it doesn't matter. Before you make any purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. Will this item add value to my life? Is buying this item more important than reaching a specific goal? Will you use it on a regular basis? If you answer no to any one of these questions, do not buy the item at that time. Instead, take the money you would have spent and put it towards debt repayment or save it. Goal number 3 is to create a financial vision board. And vision boards are so great because they really help narrow down what's important to you. And this direction can keep you focused. Whether you're looking to pay off debt, save money, start a business, create a collage of images that really inspire you. And once your vision board is completed, post it in an area where you're able to look at it every day, because by keeping your goals visual, that can really help you stay focused. Goal number 4 is to make an extra mortgage payment in 2021. What some people don't realize is that making just one extra principal-only payment every year can reduce your mortgage term by 5 to 7 years. Another thing you can do, which might be a little easier, is to take your mortgage payment, divide it by 12, and then add that amount to each mortgage payment throughout the year. And by doing that, you can also make the equivalent of one extra payment. But it's so important that you specify that you want the extra money applied to your principal only. So if you're paying by check, you have to send 2 checks. The first check should be for your normal mortgage payment, and the second check should be for your principal only payment. And in the memo of that second check, make sure you write principal only. Another goal is to teach your kids about personal finance. The best time to help kids develop saving and money habits is when they are young, because if they can develop a good savings routine when they don't have any bills, it will be a lot easier for them to stick with this routine once they do have expenses. So if you haven't already, start having conversations about credit, debt, saving money, and investing. And these conversations are really a win-win for everyone. On one hand, it gets your kids excited about money management, and on the other hand, it's really an opportunity for you to learn more about money management so you can make better decisions with your money. Another goal is to make more regular donations. Studies have actually found that giving is good for us. Generosity can make us happy, it can lower stress, and the same way shopping releases a brain chemical that can help us feel better, researchers have found that giving can have the same effect. So if you haven't already, make an effort to donate more. Another goal is to eat out only once a week. Now, we all know that cooking at home saves money, but let's be honest, we don't always want to eat our own food, and sometimes we just want a night off or something different. The problem is that we often treat ourselves a little too much. So going throughout this year, make an effort to only eat out one time a week, and that includes whether you're eating out for dinner or for lunch. And if you're the type of person who eats out a lot and you don't think you can cut back to only once a week, look at the number of times that you're currently eating out and see if you can at least cut that by half. Another goal is to commit to at least one no-spend week every single month, and this involves no shopping, no eating out, and no spending money on recreation. Whatever amount that you're able to save that week, use it to start chipping away at your debt or use it to build a bigger savings account. Another goal is to increase your retirement contribution by at least 1%. Regardless of whether you have an IRA or you have a 401k at work, chances are if you increase by 1%, you will not even miss the money. And a 1% increase may seem like it will not make a big difference, but if you were 35 years old making $45,000 a year and you're currently saving 3% of your income, a 1% increase means that by the age of 66, you will have an additional $34,000 in your retirement account. Another goal is to purge your closet. Before the end of January, go through your closet and remove any item that you haven't worn in at least 2 years, or any item that you don't like or feel that you're not going to wear in the future. And if the clothes are in good condition, you can sell them on Poshmark or maybe a similar site, and then use whatever money you earn to pay off debt or build your savings account. Another goal is not to add any new credit card debt in 2021. Long-term credit card debt, it can rob you of income, and it can also lower your credit score. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't use a credit card, but before doing so, make sure you're able to pay off that balance immediately. That way you avoid new debt and you also avoid paying interest. One way to avoid credit card debt is by creating a sinking funds account. And this is basically an account where you will set money aside for a future purchase. And these purchases, they can include gifts, a vacation, home improvement, or maybe even a splurge. But one thing to keep in mind is that a sinking funds account, this is separate from your emergency fund. And these accounts are great because you're able to set money aside for your wants or fun, which means you can have guilt-free spending, and you're also less likely to touch your emergency fund for non-emergency purchases. Another goal is to increase your credit score by 30 to 50 points. Having a high credit score, it makes it easier to qualify for loans, and it can also help you get a better interest rate on your loans, which will save you money. So if you have a low score, make it a goal to increase it by at least 30 or 50 points throughout 2021. And the best way to do this is definitely to pay your bills on time. And it's so important that you pay off debt, especially credit card debt, because the amount you owe makes up 30% of your credit score. And one thing that a lot of people forget to do is to check your credit report. Credit report errors can drive down your credit score. So if you haven't already, go to annualcreditreport.com. Here you can get free copies of your credit reports from all of the bureaus. Once you get your report, go through it, make sure everything is accurate, and if you find any errors, dispute these with the credit bureaus. Another goal is to purchase life insurance, and this is so crucial, especially if others rely on your income for support. But even if you're single, you should still look into a policy, because the money that your family receives, it can help cover some of your final expenses, which really takes the financial burden off of them. And one thing to keep in mind about life insurance is that it is a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get a policy when you're young and healthy. So if you haven't already, definitely look into getting a policy. And as far as how much to get, there are really no hard or fast rules. However, some experts do recommend getting a policy that's at least 8 to 10 times your annual salary if others rely on your income. Another goal is to eliminate at least one subscription service in January. If you can do more, great. But what you also want to do is take the money that you would normally spend on that service and have it automatically deposited into your savings account. So instead of paying that company, you're now paying yourself. Another goal is to stop a costly bad habit. The reality is sometimes our bad habits, they cost us more than we realize. So whatever your habit is, go through your statement, see how much you're normally spending on this habit every single month, and then for the month of January, commit to cutting that amount by half. But don't stop there. Continue to decrease how much you spend on this habit every month going throughout the year, and hopefully by the time we get to December, you would have kicked it. Another goal is to start a side hustle. Make this year the year that you start creating multiple income streams for yourself. So commit to having at least one additional income source by the end of December 2021, and then the following year, see if you can add another income stream. Another goal is to unsubscribe to all of your sales emails. Now, on one hand, getting coupons, yes, they can help you save money. But getting coupons can also backfire, because there's also a tendency to see something and to buy something you would not have otherwise bought had you not gotten the coupon. So go through your email, start unsubscribing, or if you don't want to unsubscribe, have a separate email address where all of your coupons go, and then only check this email when you're looking for something specific. Another goal is to review your budget on a monthly basis. Some people make the mistake of setting a budget, but then never going back to review or tweak their budget. But throughout the year, your income and your expenses, they can change. So it's so important important that you sit down and you look at your budget from time to make sure that your spending still aligns with your goals. Another goal is to simplify your finances and make money management easier and less overwhelming. Now, there are different ways to simplify, and everyone has to find their own comfort level, but just to give you a few suggestions. Some people, they go paperless, that way they can reduce clutter. Others will automate all their bills, that way they don't forget to pay something. Then again, some people will only use one credit card or they will only use cash. The point is, really sit down and determine what will make managing your money easier. The last goal on our list is to start investing. If you have been putting it off because you find it to be scary or intimidating, make this year the year that you start growing your money long term. And one good thing about investing is that you don't really need a lot of money to get started. I got started with $100, which I used to really just get my feet wet and build my confidence. And keep in mind too that there are different ways to invest. Some people, they are okay with researching and picking their own stocks, whereas others, they prefer to use an automated investment service. Regardless of the approach you choose, just make this year the year that you get started. And the bonus goal that I have for you guys for this year is to definitely ask for help. If you are struggling with managing your finances and you need guidance, talk to somebody who can help you get on track. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a professional. If you have a friend or a family member who you trust and they're good with money and they're responsible, talk to them because they might be able to give you some guidance and give you some tips that you haven't considered. And if you do need a professional, you can talk with a financial advisor, or you can also speak with a certified credit counselor. But as a word of caution, if you do use a credit counselor, make sure you work with a nonprofit organization because they will often provide free resources in the form of workshops, classes, or maybe even one-on-one sessions. So that's my list of 21 goals to really make 2021 the best year financially for you. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button below. On this channel, we talk a lot about personal finance and different ways that you can fix your wallet and get to where you want to be financially. So if you like videos like this, I do post every weekend and sometimes during the week. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.